Welcome to New Life Live with host and founder of New Life Ministries, Stephen Arterburn. New Life Live is dedicated to transforming lives one at a time, thanks to the giving hearts of you, our listeners. Our goal is to provide you with wisdom from God's Word to give you hope and help in life's hardest places. If you have a question you'd like to ask today, our phone lines are open. Call 1-800-229-3000. That number again is 1-800-229-3000. Now here's Steve.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to New Life Live. Steve Arterburn here, and I promise you will not be tortured on this program, and helping me to help you find some kind of hope and healing, anything better than it is right now. That's what we're going for here, better. Dr. Sheri Keffer and Dr. Alice Benton. Hi, guys. How are you?
It's good. It's great to be here. How are you doing? I like your haircut, Steve. It looks good.
I was just thinking the same thing.
I know. You finally got it cut.
Yes, I did. And
you were doing kind of the Elvis impression.
Getting a little shaky.
Okay, so, the virus times, I went a little longer. But it's about an hour old is all. So thanks for noticing. And, we are on Facebook Live, and you could see both Alice and Sheri's lack of haircuts there.
Yeah, that's true for me.
I just had new color put on, so, right.
If you would like to join us on the radio program, it's 1-800-229-3000. And you could join us on Facebook Live. Go to newlife.com is another way to see it and listen to it all at the same time. We're really glad that you're here and hope that something we say is going to help you a little bit. Now, we just decided to do something yesterday, I think, or the day before. I lose track of days now. But here's what it is. We're going to do a one-day Lose It for Life on August the 1st. And I would love for you to join us. We've never done Lose It for Life online. It's always been show up, get on an airplane, fly in. But because of Miley Cyrus and the virus, we're going to do it online.
That is so
12
great.
12 hours, and I'm just going to tell you something. You're going to learn some things that will help you little by little, in a big way, keep the weight off. And that's what we're looking for. Who wants to lose it, and then you just gain it all back? And when you gain it back, you usually have lost some muscle in the process if you lose it inappropriately and too fast, and then you lose the muscle, then you gain back fat, and it's just horrible on your metabolism and everything else. So cannot encourage you more. If you've got a weight problem, had a weight problem, want to help somebody, and you're able to say it in a non-offensive way, come join this guy.
I got to say this,
We wanna
Steve.
be with you.
So, usually we do it in January, and I love the August date because those of us, right, who started off and had the resolution of we're going to have that be one of our goals for this year, if you're sitting there going, yeah, that went out the door, it's a perfect time to pick that up in August and start again.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it, here's the thing. Somebody said, maybe we should do it in November. I said, nobody with a weight problem that I know goes on some kind of really great changing plan, diet or weight loss plan, before the holidays. You're thinking, hey, come on, let's get through these and enjoy it, and then we'll do it. So I'm really excited about it, and I think it'll be a great one. August the 1st, call us 1-800-NEW-LIFE, and we love to have you join us for that. It'll be a great time. And also, this Saturday is Every Man's Battle. Now, come on, get that taken care of. Let that be the big accomplishment of the summer, is you do that. Do it in June, right now. All right, 1-800-229-3000. We'll go to the little short break, 1-minute break, and then we'll come right back. Facebook Live, we've got an app that you can listen on, about 200 radio stations, Sirius XM, channel 131, a lot of places that you can get this program. Tell somebody. Maybe they'll hear something that you wanted them to hear for a long time. All right. And by the way, if you heard the program yesterday with Dr. Amen, you could still get a copy of that book, The End of Mental Illness, for a gift of any amount. We'll be back after this.
After I found the pornography on the internet, I said, you either get help or I have to leave this household.
Every day, thousands of women discover their husband is struggling with sexual integrity. And since shelter-in-place orders have gone into effect, traffic to porn sites has skyrocketed. New Life's Every Man's Battle workshop can help.
I believed that I could do it on my own. I just believed if I tried hard enough and pulled myself up hard enough by my bootstraps, I could do it. It was a battle that I'd had all my life. I had to get help.
The Every Man's Battle workshop can be a trip to the sexual addiction emergency room. During this time of social distancing, the Every Man's Battle workshop will be held online Saturday, June 27th. Find sexual integrity, accountability, and connection. Register now to reserve a place at the Every Man's Battle online workshop. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
The single most helpful thing was to realize that I wasn't the weirdest guy on the planet.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. 1-800-NEWLIFE. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
We're back to Arterburn here. Let me make it easy for you. If you're married to somebody that has a problem with sexual integrity, you just do this. Hey, honey, what are you doing all day Saturday? And he says, nothing. Okay, good. I got you signed up for Every Man's Battle. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Just encourage him to do it. And you know what? If you've been really, really, really traumatized by this guy, there's nothing funny about it. You tell him, hey, don't you think the least you could do would be to go to a one-day seminar? Don't you think that? Sheri, I did a program yesterday on the unintended secondary abuse that occurs when people go to see a counselor, church pastor, someone, and they're quoted a scripture, told to, maybe if you had more sex with this person, it wouldn't happen. Maybe if you were more open, all these shaming, double traumatizing things. And it's just so sad when people want to say something versus listen and hear what the woman is going through. Very, very sad.
It's really sad. And I think there's a lot of well-meaning people out there in the helping field, right? Therapists, pastors, people in recovery groups that aren't up on the latest information. And so about the trauma, the PTSD symptoms. And so they unknowingly say these things, like you said, and they re-injure somebody. It's called treatment trauma.
Yeah.
And so if you are somebody out there and you're in the helping profession, please get up with the latest training. And we do less harm, right? We kind of take an oath to not harm anyone, but sometimes we harm and we don't know that we're harming them.
Yeah, that's right. Let's go to the phones. Let's talk with, how about Mary? We talked to Mary. She's calling us all the way from Washington, D.C. WAVA is the great station there. Hi, Mary. How are you? Welcome to New Life Live.
Thank you.
Sure.
I'll just start with my question.
Okay.
How do I respond to my 68-year-old husband who acts like and talks like a 5-year-old?
How long has he been doing that?
Well, only in the past couple of years. I've been married for 37 years. I've been dealing with something, and only in the past few years I've realized that it's probably covert narcissism. I read your book, Understanding and Loving a Person with a Narcissistic Personality Disorder. But I think it's more than just covert. It's covert, passive-aggressive. And since I've become aware of this, and I've kind of set some boundaries in I changed how I respond to him. Now he's becoming more and more like a little kid. And he talks like a 5-year-old, and he acts like a 5-year-old, probably 50% of the time. And I usually just kind of ignore it because you can't talk to him about things because he just won't look at himself.
Okay. So let's start with you, Sheri. What are you thinking when you hear someone regressing in this way?
So when he's talking like a 5-year-old, do you feel manipulated? Do you think he's trying to manipulate you to go to this little boy place and appeal to your softer side?
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't thought of it that way.
Because covert narcissism, you know, it's like they're Boy Scouts on the outside, but on the inside, there's a lot of manipulation because they're trying to get something that they want. And so, it makes sense if you've changed the way that you're responding to him. You're probably moving into a more mature or adult way of being in the relationship. But that's going to make him feel like he's not getting what he wants. And so interesting that he's trying to manipulate you in a different way. Have you pointed that out to him? Have you said, honey, I kind of interesting, but and it's not been all our marriage. It's only been in the last couple of years. But what I'm observing is when you talk to me, and I wouldn't tell him he sounds like a 5-year-old, right? Because none of us like to be told you sound like a 5-year-old. But I would say when you talk to me, I'm observing that you're coming to me instead of like a clear request. You're coming to me in more of a kind of whiny, needy sort of way. And it's hard for me to really hear you when you're coming in that whiny little small voice. I mean, what is it that you want? What is it that you're looking for? Can you share that with me?
Yeah.
What do you think he'd say?
Yeah. I think he would just say no, because we don't really communicate on a real personal, intimate level. It's more of business-like. And so to go there, he would have to kind of look at himself.
Well, I understand.
He has a hard time doing that.
So can you just give us one phrase, and I'll turn it over to Alice. What's one phrase he says that sounds like a 5-year-old?
If I'm loading the dishwasher and I say, honey, do you have any dishes for the dishwasher? He'll say yes. And then he'll say, gosh, why do I always have to do everything?
Okay. So, okay.
A little kid.
Kind of, right? And so what you can do at that point and go, that's interesting. You don't have to believe him, right? Like we don't have to believe every 5-year-old. That's interesting. I thought we were really sharing things around the house. Stay in your adult place. Don't appeal to him. If you ignore it, you know what you're doing? You're enabling him to do things like that. You stand in an adult place, and it's okay to question him. It doesn't mean he's going to change, but it's okay, because if you don't question him, if you don't stay in an adult place, guess where you're going to land? You're going to land in bitterness and contempt.
Yeah.
And that doesn't feel good either, right?
Well, I suspect you're probably already there, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, I can't talk to him. If I point out anything, he'll shrug his shoulders and he'll say, "Well, I'm sorry," or he just won't talk to me on an adult level about things that have to do with him.
Okay, so you both need to be in some kind of very redemptive healing counseling that understands both of you fully. What are you doing?
We've tried it. The last I guess about a year ago, he blew up at me and spit all kind of anger and venom and was just angry at me. And I said, under the circumstances, we need to go to a counselor. So he went about 2 or 3 times. And then he said, I'm not going anymore. Mm-hmm. And during the counseling, I shared from my heart how his spewing this anger at me made me feel. It made me afraid of him. And the counselor said, well, what do you think about what she's saying? And he says, I think she's full of crap.
Yeah, so
he just won't look at himself.
But you know what? Mary, you just kind of chuckled, and I got to tell you, that hurt. And I don't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that hurt. But even in your chuckle, I'm concerned that you are. You're tired. You're tired, and you're starting to minimize, and you're losing steam. You're losing steam. It's really hard to be with these folks that have narcissistic traits, whether they're covert or overt. It's tough. Where are you getting your support?
I have a lot of friends. I have a sister, and I have a lot of friends, and they love me and support me. And I'm 37 years into this. I'm not going to get divorced because my marriage is more than just my relationship with my husband. I have 3 children and a granddaughter. And, God, when a lot of times when he acts like he does, I just look up at God and I kind of wink at him and I go, yeah, you know what I'm going through, and we're in this together.
Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to get a divorce to do some things that might change the dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easy to not do anything because you say, well, we went to counseling a year ago. It's easy to not do anything when you say, well, I'm not going to get a divorce. See how that could actually be an excuse to not do something that might be helpful. You get what I'm saying? I'm trying to help you just see that.
Yes,
and then,
I've been to different counselors. I've been to counseling for myself.
But see, today's today. But we're talking about today. And so nothing you could tell me would say to me it's a hopeless situation. Like you call and say, I've been to counseling myself and we went to counseling a year ago and here's what happened. Well, if I were to say back to you, okay, well then it's hopeless. Wouldn't that be a sad thing?
Oh, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think it's hopeless. I just tried that, and he wasn't willing to do that.
But what Steve is too is disruption. He's dividing you into something that is. Do you know the Bible says, Proverbs 10:10, when we wink at bad things, sin, wrongdoing, it only leads to more folly. And here you're winking at God. It's not okay with God. It's not okay, but we have to disrupt. You can't keep the peace. You've got to make peace by disrupting bad behavior. And it might mean a temporary separation. It might mean you not doing all the wonderful things you do for him until he's willing to get back into treatment.
And Mary, you might have a different opening right now because your behavior has changed and you see that it's affecting him. It's stirring something in him. He also apparently feels loaded down, whether that's accurate or not. That little comment about the dishes, he might feel loaded down. And so I think in that opening, you can acknowledge, I've changed in these past couple of years, and I see that it's affecting you. I think it's probably frustrating you. Maybe you don't even know how to deal with me and this new version of me and the way I talk to you now. Why don't we try counseling again so that you can talk with me openly about how my changes are affecting you? And so I can take a look at myself as well. I know you feel loaded down with me at times. I want to find out about that. I want to see if I do have a part, what my part is in it. How do you think your husband would respond to that kind of invitation now to try again with counseling?
I believe he would say, no, I'm not doing that.
And then you say, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. If you are not willing to come in to help with me, then I'm going to need to take some time away from you until you're willing, because this pattern is hurting me.
We're no longer ever going to have a conversation where I ask you to do the dishes or help with the dishes, and you say, oh, wow, why do I have to do everything? We're not going to have that anymore, because you're either going to change and get up and do the stuff that an equal partner does, or we're not going to be together. We are not going to stay in the status quo. I am not going to be an accomplice for this kind of horrible situation, because, honey, I still remember what you told that counselor a year ago when I was willing to get some help with you. And then you didn't want to go back. So I think it's time for you to declare either we are nothing or we're going to be something. Because right now, I called a radio show because I think we're nothing. Now, if we're nothing, then here's what I want you to do. I want you to do this, stay in that bedroom, be separate, whatever it is. Now, what we're trying to do here, see, is not to cause separation. We're trying to wake him up. And he's not going to wake up with passivity, compliance, and being an accomplice to his agenda to be whoever he wants to be, say whatever he wants to say, with no regard for your heart and your soul. It sickens me to hear of this kind of situation. But you're going to have some courage and do some things in a different way that has some chance to awaken the man inside this 5-year-old guy that's talking to you like a kid. We'll be back after this.
For most of my life, I've been dealing with an opiate addiction.
Why is opioid addiction quickly becoming one of our nation's biggest killers? Maybe it's because it isn't only those who are addicted who are in denial.
We did what I see so many parents do, is it can't be an addiction. There's something medically wrong.
It's impossible to solve a problem when you don't know what you're up against, and families will try to find any explanation except the one that will put them on the right path.
Alcoholism and drug addiction is a family disease. It doesn't affect just the individual.
If someone you love is abusing painkillers, know what you're up against. It's time to admit it's addiction and seek treatment. Call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. We have Christ-centered partner treatment centers around the country. Call 1-800-639-5433 or visit us online at newlife.com.
We just made a decision. We will do whatever it takes.
1-800-NEW-LIFE.
Hi, this is Steve Arterburn, and for 30 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
I'm an addict, and I'm trying to get God in my life again.
You seem to be able to get to the crux of a problem quickly.
Our Christ-centered treatment programs can help you break free to embrace all that God has for you and your family.
I just want to thank you guys for bringing me to a relationship with Jesus.
There really is help for marital problems, depression, addictions, panic attacks, and feelings of hopelessness.
I came back with so many tools to help me prepare myself to fight this struggle and this battle that I have every day.
You can start living again today, living the life God intended for you. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
They did care, and they did follow up very lovingly, and it made all the difference in my life.
Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Someone who cares is waiting at the other end of the phone. God can open the door to a better tomorrow right now. Just call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. 1-800-639-5433.
We'd love to hear from you. If you have a question or a comment, call toll-free 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
We're back. We were talking with Mary, and Mary is an example of somebody that says to she would say to her husband, there is a one-day event. It's called intimacy in marriage. And I think the least you could do, given all we've been through, is to commit to one day with me working through this workshop. Boy, if somebody isn't willing to do that after all this, what does that really say about the relationship? It says a lot about it. But we're going to be doing it, and it could really, really make a difference. I always wonder about these guys like him. What's the pornography situation? You know, that you just are so objectifying and demeaning of women. I have to wonder what's going on there. All right, we're going to go to the next call. If you want to join us, 1-800-229-3000. I'll be doing I think today, I forget what step we're on, but today live, Facebook Live, at 5 o'clock Eastern, we're going through life recovery for divorce, going through each step, see how that applies to the recovery process. All right, let's go to, how about we go to Sheri from Chicago, Illinois. And she listens online. Hi, how are you?
Hi, guys. I'm fine. Thank you.
What's going on? How can we help?
Oh, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, where do I start? Okay, I was married. I was divorced 20 years ago, or 19 years ago. My husband and I, my husband had an affair, shattered my life. He had a baby by the person who he had an affair with. He got her pregnant. And that was it. I mean, we just divorced after that. Fast forward to now, 2020, COVID-19 era.
Mm-hmm.
I get a first I get a Facebook, and I see him on my face. I haven't heard from this man in almost 20 years. I see a Facebook thing asking me, "Can I be your friend?" I block it. I say no. And then he calls me. He calls me the next day, and he leaves a message on my answering machine saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me for all I've done. I know it's been 20 years. I can't, I'm so sorry. I just asked your forgiveness." And I said, "Okay, all right." Then I did text him back saying, I forgave you 20 years ago. All's well with the world. I'm fine. Have a good life. Calls me again, and I didn't. Once again, I didn't answer, saying all this. "Oh, wow, I'm so sorry. Why won't you talk to me? Why won't you listen to me? But anyway, my question is, how do I? I mean, I'm totally stunned. How do I respond? I mean, or should I respond? Maybe I don't need to respond to this person who I really don't know anymore. From 20 years, from my past, 20 years ago, I was married to him for 10 years, by the way. And I didn't even recognize this person. It was like I didn't even envision him doing something like this.
Yeah, okay.
I thought he was happy in his marriage.
Well, I want to hear from Alice. I'm just going to say this. I think whenever you're trying to restore a relationship with someone from the past, never really a good strategy to be a whiny little baby when you're going, "Why don't you do this?" That kind of thing. But second thing is, I think you ought to just email him back. "Hey, I was thinking about you. I hear how sorry you are. What did you do, and what have you done to take care of those character defects that led to the betrayal, the baby? What's going on with that baby and grown now, and the woman that you got pregnant?" Yeah. So I would be talking about what he's done to grow in character. Alice, what are you thinking here?
Sheri, you two didn't have any children together?
No, we did not have any children. I was trying to have a baby at the time, 20 years ago, with him.
The immense amount of pain this man caused you it's unbelievable what you've been through. And then he seems quite cavalier in the way that he's contacting you. And even though he's asking for forgiveness, it must seem like so little, so late. Is your stance fairly strong that you have no desire to hear any more from him?
No, because he married this woman. That's his spouse now. He has, whatever issues they're having, they have to work out together. I'm dating. I'm involved with somebody who I care for deeply. I don't want to betray what I have going on. And even if I didn't, I still wouldn't want. I have no interest in this person.
I didn't realize he was married now.
He is married now.
I wouldn't be responding at all to him.
It's so interesting.
Okay.
I think we were married to the same man, Sheri. It's weird. We have the same. Is your middle name Lynn? Is your middle name Lynn or Ann?
It's Ann.
Ann, I knew it. I knew it. We Lynn's and Ann's we're about the same age. So seriously, we were married to the same man. Connor called me back, and he also got a woman pregnant, had a baby, and when he would call me, I asked him, "Does your wife know that you're calling me?" And he said, "No." And I said, "You're doing the same thing to her that you did to me." And then he went through a divorce. And then he called me back and he wanted to get back together. But my very wise counselor, who I love, said exactly what Steve said. She said, "What has he done over the years to work on himself? It's not about, will you forgive me? That's a cheap sorry, right? It's a cheap sorry. He really should be saying, how are you? Like, I blew your life up. But really, he shouldn't be calling you at all right now because he is a married man. Yeah, he's acting out, girl. That's enough confirmation to say, pass, move along."
Thank you.
We'll be back.
After I found the pornography on the internet, I said, you either get help or I have to leave this household.
Every day, thousands of women discover their husband is struggling with sexual integrity. And since shelter-in-place orders have gone into effect, traffic to porn sites has skyrocketed. New Life's Every Man's Battle workshop can help.
I believed that I could do it on my own. I just believed if I tried hard enough and pulled myself up hard enough by my bootstraps, I could do it. It was a battle that I'd had all my life. I had to get help.
The Every Man's Battle workshop can be a trip to the sexual addiction emergency room. During this time of social distancing, the Every Man's Battle workshop will be held online Saturday, June 27th. Find sexual integrity, accountability, and connection. Register now to reserve a place at the Every Man's Battle online workshop. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
The single most helpful thing was to realize that I wasn't the weirdest guy on the planet.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. 1-800-NEWLIFE.
Hi, this is Steve Arterburn, and for 30 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
Your ministry has saved my life.
If you struggle with emotional hurt, family or marriage problems, the pit of depression, or the pain of addictions, we can help.
I'm down 100 pounds now from what I was.
You guys are awesome. You're a blessing to America.
Our treatment programs provide clinically appropriate solutions from licensed professionals, all in a biblical framework.
I have had problems with alcohol. I think God has ordained this place to be His.
You don't have to be a prisoner of your pain. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
She tells me that I'm a new man, and I feel like a new man.
It worked for me, and it can work for them too.
This time it is different.
If you're ready to take the first step toward genuine spiritual and emotional healing, please call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. God can open the door to a better tomorrow right now. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433.
We're glad you joined us for New Life Live. To be a part of the program, call 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
We're back. Steve Arterburn here. Alice had one other comment to make there.
Well, speaking from my own experience, there can be an illicit thrill in communication from past spouses or boyfriends where there's a charge to it. And we can feel a little inflated by it. It feels good. Somebody's after me. Someone wants me and is thinking about me. And Sheri's doing such a good job of not keeping that secret, because when we hide that and hold on to it, even if we don't respond, but it can pull us into fantasy, it can really pull us into adulterous thinking, honestly. And so bringing it to the light, sharing it with other Christians and getting counsel and stopping it in its tracks is so important to safeguard our current relationship that we're in.
Yeah, really good. Thank you for that, Alice. Very important. And, you know, folks like him have a way of kind of knowing what button to push to kind of, you know, keep you hanging on there. But I'm glad she called and we could help her with that. Speaking of pushing buttons, Larry Sonnenberg knows my buttons, and he pushes them frequently. And no, Larry left me a message. I have some very good news for you. And it was a person who had thought of New Life while she was still alive, and then she died, and we're part of that estate. And if you are about to die, if you could please think of New Life the way this woman did, we would be so grateful for your support. Isn't that right, Larry?
That is so true,
Sorry,
Steve.
I messed up your whole situation
yes,
here,
you
but
did.
anyway.
Yes, you did.
Sorry.
Oh, my goodness. Well, Every Man's Battle is this Saturday, so I wanted to put a plug in for that and read a testimony and help people understand why we seek their support and why we seek their estate gifts. It was a message about being courageous that led me to confession. I haven't felt courageous. Every step forward, I take 5 steps back, and I didn't want to come to this workshop because I didn't feel like I was addicted. I was lying to myself. I now have a connection with other men, and I have a battle plan moving forward. Proverbs says that the wicked run away without someone chasing them, but the godly are as bold as lions. I choose right now to move forward with the boldness of a lion. So men, if that describes you, if you are one who is running but no one's chasing you, you can change it. You can come to Every Man's Battle one day, 12 hours, online from your home, no hurdles, You don't have to get in an airplane and travel. You don't have to walk into a room with other men. You just stay at home, put on your Zoom, and you're with us. And your life can be different. You can become as bold as a lion by just calling 800 New Life, saying, it's time, I need to sign up. And ladies, if your husband is one of those men that needs it, nudge, push, kick him in the rear, do what you have to do. Say, you need to go to this workshop now.
Well, Larry, I've heard from a number of men and their wives who participated in the online version of it, and they are just singing its praises about its effectiveness and how logistically it is so easy to participate, and yet all the benefits are still there.
Right, and the counselors that work the workshop that have the groups online, they are just amazed at how well these groups are working and how bonding it is for the people that are in the groups.
So the bottom line is, it's a great time to get better. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. And if you can help us, support us, maybe you have a few $100s that you could literally give a scholarship to one of these guys that can't afford it. Well, we would love that. 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Every gift you give is matched. And we're so grateful for all who have supported us. Thank you. Thank you so, so very much. All right, let's go to the next caller. How about we talk to Lynn? Lynn's calling us from Los Angeles, listens on the podcast. I'm glad that she does. Hi, Lynn. How are you today?
Hi, I'm doing okay. Thanks.
Okay, good. Good. How can we help?
Okay, well, thanks for taking my call. I've been married for almost 30 years, and over this time, I've pretty much made 90% of the income. And I also, though, have a spending problem, have a hard time staying within a budget. My husband I've invited him to walk along with me in the finances, and he never wants to do that, but he's quick to get angry if I overspend. And, so it's hard because I need him to bring in some more money to make it possible for us to survive. And I also need help with my own struggles financially. And so I'm kind of at a loss, though, as to how to go about doing that. He doesn't spend a lot of money himself. I mean, most of the money that, he just doesn't contribute to things like, house, phones,
Lynn,
cars,
why has he always
insurance,
brought in so
food.
much less than you throughout your marriage?
There are some pretty significant differences in our socioeconomic background, but that said, he still could do more than he has. He does save us money in some ways he's very handy, and his work has been in the arena of home improvement for people and things like that, kind of like a handyman, almost like a contractor type. But it fluctuates, and he gets very passive about that.
I don't think you have a money problem. My thought is you don't have a money problem. You have some kind of crummy stuff going on in the relationship that I bet if you guys got together on that, you'd figure out how to motivate, encourage each other in the areas. It sounds like he's strong in keeping the money and you're strong in making the money. If you guys ever get together and really have some emotional and social, spiritual intimacy here, you could get on each other's team rather than just each of you functioning out of your strength and feeling like you're at wit's end. Well, you guys are quite a team if we can ever get you on the same page or doing the same game plan. Maybe that's the way to say it. Forget all of my sports analogies. Sheri, what are you thinking here? Alex got us started, but I really think there's potential here.
Well, I'm going to take a different take because I think maybe this is because it's call for and it's the immature husband day. I don't know. I'm sitting here a little frustrated, Lynn. I think I'm frustrated with us as women because we tolerate a whole lot of immature behavior and we become moms to little boys and we keep them from growing up. Your spending issue, my dear, I so care for your heart. You know what that is? That's fatigue and entitlement. It's leaking out. Entitlement in light of I deserve this. Like you're purchasing because you deserve it, because you're exhausted about having to carry the full responsibility or 90% of it. It's unacceptable. But you know what we do? Mm-hmm. We allow it. And we don't draw lines. And so the guys take advantage of us when we do that. It's a misplaced misplaced power. So it's like he's resentful because he feels in the one down position. But something's very backwards with what you're doing. And I get the socioeconomic thing, but I think you're minimizing. I think you're in denial over what he's capable of. You know, during the COVID, I could hardly get my handyman to come because he was so busy. Mm-hmm. Does any of that make sense to you, my dear?
Oh, totally. And I should add that, you know, the marriage obviously has lots of problems. I know that I don't respect as much as I ought, and he's verbally abusive. And Enneagram, he's an 8, and an angry, unhealthy 8, and I'm either a 4 and 9, and we just are all, you know, it just doesn't work.
No, I know. Does he spend a lot of time alone in his room? Is he looking at porn? I mean, what is he doing with his time when he's not working?
It's not porn, for sure.
What is it then?
I'm sure. Good question. He does watch a lot of TV. He has been involved. Okay, I will say this: we've had we have some property in another town, and that's a whole different issue. And he has been up there working on that and dealing with it. So that has, you know, that in a sense is saving us money. But that in itself has a lot of issues too, because we have so many disagreements on how to deal with some of the challenges.
Sheri, what do you think? What should she do? What do you think is her best next step with him and herself?
I think, Lynn, my dear, if I was sitting with you and having coffee, I would probably say something that would scare you. But I would say, I think you're in some denial, and I think there are some things going on that you don't want to even think about. Because a man is meant to provide. They're made to provide. And once they start getting angry and verbally abusive, there's some other bad juju going on out there. He's disrespecting you. He's objectifying you. Mm. He's making you little. And he's behaving in a very immature way. And I just think you need to look deeper, girl. Look. Don't believe yourself right now.
We'll be back after this.
For most of my life, I've been dealing with an opiate addiction.
Why is opioid addiction quickly becoming one of our nation's biggest killers? Maybe it's because it isn't only those who are addicted who are in denial.
We did what I see so many parents do, is it can't be an addiction. There's something medically wrong.
It's impossible to solve a problem when you don't know what you're up against, and families will try to find any explanation except the one that will put them on the right path.
Alcoholism and drug addiction is a family disease. It doesn't affect just the individual.
If someone you love is abusing painkillers, know what you're up against. It's time to admit it's addiction and seek treatment. Call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. We have Christ-centered partner treatment centers around the country. Call 1-800-639-5433 or visit us online at newlife.com.
We just made a decision. We will do whatever it takes.
1-800-NEW-LIFE.
I was really living a very anxiety-filled life. I turned on New Life, and the topic that day was about anxiety. And just by listening, I got relief.
You can help New Life Live stay on the air by joining Club New Life today. When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, we'll send you the Transformation Welcome Gift, which includes a personal-sized Life Recovery Bible, a Life Recovery Journal, and 5 Life Recovery Workbooks. Plus, there are ongoing benefits like access to the Club New Life video library, the monthly Club New Life CD or download, quarterly resources, free shipping on purchased resources, and discounts on workshops.
I did go to Take Your Life Back. That's been immensely helpful to to me. That's why I continue to support the ministry with the hope that not only am I helping my own situation, that I'm helping others as well.
Support Club New Life, and together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
We're back. All right, I just want to sum this up by saying, Lynn, he needs to get some help. I think you separately getting some help. Him getting with other men, not being and maybe he doesn't make enough money to feel comfortable with other men. I don't know what it is, but I really see both of you. This would be my prescription I would write. Go get counseling for 6 months. He gets counseling for 6 months. Come back together. Get some counseling together then. And because I bet there's some way that he could kind of rise to the occasion and you could, encourage him. But I'm telling you, when I hear about this anger thing, it really, really bothers me to hear that a man is functioning and he is angry. Anything else either you want to say?
Would you do me a favor, Lynn? I want you to check out Codependency Support Group, because CODA, C-O-D-A. I too was an over-functioner and had to really get into my own work to realize that I was not healthy in relationships in light of knowing how to partner well. And so I actually chose, Henry Cloud called me out on this. Mm-hmm. Henry, thank you for the times in our lives but he just said, Sheri, you choose men that are weaker because then you can feel a sense of power. Kind of like you were talking earlier, Alice, about that, power. And I think I was afraid they would leave. I had all my issues that I had to face head on so that I could actually choose a man who was healthy and a good partner.
Yeah, I really want the best for you two. And I'm giving you encouragement here. I'm going to send you my Ellen K's book, How We Love. I think that will help. But also, we've got this July marriage intensive coming up. And I hope offline we can talk with you about getting both of you there. Never seen anything break through as effectively as that, and that's why we do it. So I'd love to see you get involved with that. We're going to do another program after this, and you could see it on Facebook Live also. But I want to go to Helen. She'll be the final caller. If you want to join us on the next program, hang on, or you could call us at 1-800-229-3000. Here's Helen, Phoenix, watches us on the NRB channel network. How are you today?
I'm good.
I don't have a lot of time, but I did want to get to your call.
Okay, great. My husband has been buying coins, lots and lots of coins. Mm-hmm. And I asked him what that was all about. I was concerned about our finances, and he said it's because when things get bad, I'll be able to have coins. It's for our future. Yeah. And I said, well, how much do you plan on spending? I don't know. And he promised me one day that was it. He wasn't going to buy any more because they were coming every day in the mail. So then the next day he bought another one, and I questioned him about lying to me, and I told him how that hurt me, that he lied, and that his word means something to me, and that he's like, but I don't understand. So then he gets really angry with me and points his finger and gets in my face. You don't understand. This is for our future. I know what I'm doing, and then I'm just depleted with everything, self-esteem and everything.
How angry is he getting at you there?
He gets really angry. He's never hit me, but he's angry, and that's enough. His anger has been a problem through our whole marriage. He did anger management 1.5 years ago because I had left for a few days, and that helped him a lot. He was a lot better, and now I see him slipping back into the same behavior, and then now he has this new addiction with buying coins.
And Helen, when you ask him to return for more of the help that was so helpful before, how does he respond to you?
he just says to me that I'm not as bad as I used to be. This only happens once in a while now. It's not all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, but it makes me feel beat down, powerless, unloved, you know.
And Helen, are you considering
Scared.
laying down those same boundaries and that same separation that you had to before to get him to get help?
Yeah, and I mentioned that to him a week ago that, you know, I'm going to leave. And he says, go ahead, pack your bags.
Oh, my goodness.
And I was floored.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went into my room and just stayed in my room the rest of the night. And so now I want to leave, but it's like I think he wants me to leave now because he's got all these coins and all this money wrapped up in coins that I don't even know if that's the reason. It's now that he feels more financially secure with having bought them. I don't know. I get confused and
well, let me just interrupt you here. We don't have a lot of time. My heart breaks whenever I hear these things of like someone saying what you did and then he says, well, just leave. But I'll tell you, it is an invitation for you to take away the convenience of your relationship with him. Not to divorce, but I just can't imagine you continuing to allow this to be the status quo here, especially after you've threatened something. Sheri, if she was seeing you, what would be the next step here? And Alice, I'll let you finish up with you.
Well, there's a red flag there. So I think because of the finances and because you're concerned about him depleting it, I actually would have you get counsel with an attorney. Mm-hmm. You may need to get counsel on a legal separation right now in order to freeze the funds. I mean, half of those coins are yours, but, you know, he's not listening to you, and he's on a track, and it sounds like it's not headed in the right direction. So you take care of yourself, get some legal counsel, and protect yourself.
You know, I think if I were to say, if my wife said to me, if you do this, I'm going to leave, and then I said, well, just leave. I think the next time I came back home, everything I ever owned would either be in the driveway, the yard, or the street. You know, she just wouldn't settle for that. I mean, it's a declaration of a lack of commitment. It's going against the vows, even though there's been no, as far as you know, no betrayal sexually, but it is a betrayal to say to somebody, go. When all they're saying is, look, it's time for you to get your act together and get some help here. Alice, finish up with her. How can we help her? What do you think's the best way?
Well, it's just agonizing to have to admit that his statement is where he stands right now in relationship with you. And so I think you have to start your safety plan in addition to the attorney, which I completely agree about. You got to get a couple of your girlfriends, maybe some family members, to plan where you will go and what you will do to take care of yourself and get the support that you need. Do not go this alone, because your fear could paralyze you and leave you there tolerating what is intolerable because you're afraid of what this means for you, and I would be too.
You know, I'm going to send you this book, Every Man's Marriage. I want you to read it because I want you to know what a marriage is supposed to be like. It's supposed to be something of mutual submission to each other, not this kind of horrific standoff and defend. And I'm just so sorry for what you're going through. Let me encourage anybody that's going through the same thing. Join us for the Intimacy in Marriage Intensive. We're doing it in July. This weekend is Every Man's Battle. I've never met a man with a sexual addiction problem who didn't have an anger problem. And most anger problems are entitlement issues, and often, almost all the time, there's a pornography issue with it. Get on the line here. Call us 1-800-NEW-LIFE about Every Man's Battle, or Intimacy in Marriage, July 25th. 1-800-229-3000 for another program after this, or Facebook Live. 1-800-NEW-LIFE if you need some help. Boy, do we ever want to help you.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433, or write to us at New Life Ministries, P.O. Box 1029, Lake Forest, California, 92609. Please join us again tomorrow for New Life Live.
Hi, Steve Arterburn here. Thanks for watching New Life Live on our New Life YouTube channel. You know, you can see it anytime. Hope you'll subscribe, and when you do, hope you'll turn that little button thing on, the bell, so that whenever we post a new video, it'll ring right through. Now, if you go to newlife.com, you'll see the schedule of when we're in the studio, which is helpful to know if you have a question for the program, or you could go to newlife.com or call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. You could do this on the app. I mean, there's so many ways that you can stay in touch with us and know when we're there, because we want to answer your questions. So thanks for watching right here on the New Life YouTube channel, and we'll see you next time. Click here to subscribe.